Hello and welcome to this edition of Salima Speaks. A few months ago I had the pleasure of interviewing Wilbert Hart of the Delfonics. Now as you know, this group is famous for some of the most fantastic songs of all times. Did Not Blow Your Mind, Hey Love, I'm Sorry, Break Your Promise, when you get right down to it. They had actually 14 chart hits, more than many other groups have ever had. Well, today I'm here with the other third of the group. I'm here with Mr. Wilbert Hart. Hello, Wilbert.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm just great.
And thank you for being on my show. I have so many questions to ask you, so let's get started.
Okay.
First of all, when did you know you wanted to sing?
Oh, let me see. Back in grammar school.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, it was something that we always did. You know, we had the glee clubs and stuff, the voice culture classes. And so the harmony was the thing that really made me, the three-part harmony intrigued me, so I was always interested in it.
Okay, so you like your brother, one of those kids going around the house singing and things like that. Now, was there ever anything else you wanted to do, or was that all you ever wanted to do?
Let me see. We played a lot of golf. I wanted to be a professional golfer.
Really?
That's what I really
Even before Tiger Woods made it famous for black people, you really wanted to do that?
We played golf when we were very young. We used to caddy up the Cobb Street Golf Course. So golf was a big thing in our lives back then too.
Well, I'm so glad you decided to sing.
It was a good decision for us to sing. But singing was like a natural thing for us. Our mother and my father, he was always amazing me with his whistling.
Really?
I mean, he used to whistle all these songs. He never sung. But then my mother, she played the keyboard, so it was kind of like natural in our family, music thing. So.
And so, who decided on the group thing? I mean, was it a mutual decision?
It was kind of a mutual decision because he is William. He had his group. They were like older than we were.
Okay.
And then I had my group. And what happened was, after his group broke up, the guys left or whatever, and my group kind of like, did the same. So we decided to get together. We never sung together before, but we started forming the group together.
And how old were you when you guys started singing together?
I was about 15, so William was 17.
Okay, so you are the younger brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'm younger.
And I must say you look fantastic.
Thank
Really, I don't know what's in the water with you guys, but you look really, really good. And what do you attribute to that? I mean, being in this business and all the things that you must have been around. What do you attribute? How you look and you're healthy and everything.
Well, I don't know. I think your diet has a lot to do with how you live. And we were taught, by a man who taught us how to eat to live, and I think that attributes to how we grow up and how we look when we get older,
Right.
So I think it was what we ate.
Your brother said a similar thing, and that's very true.
Yeah, we were raised by the same man.
Okay, and of course now I see that there are two separate Delfonics groups, and why is that? Everyone wants to know, why don't you guys perform together anymore?
Well, that's it's kind of delicate to talk about because meaning William, what he thinks about and what he wants to do with the group and what I want to do with the group is we don't think alike. When it comes
really?
to that. So when we decided that we wasn't thinking alike and he wants to do his thing and so it just wouldn't work if we're not thinking alike. So.
Right.
That was the problem. This is why we broke up. We wasn't thinking alike about doing the same things. It just got crazy. So it was better, for me and him also, I guess, just to do our own things.
Now, do you ever think that we'll ever see you guys sing together again?
Hopefully. I'm keeping the door open.
Okay, so you're open to that.
Yes, because this would be the intelligent thing to do.
Right.
I think. But I think it's about being happy also. So all the stress that you would have, just like being married to someone,
right?
That you can't get along with, that you're married to this person, and you're supposed to go to bed with them every night, but you're not getting along.
Right.
That kind of life is a miserable thing. So it's the same thing with this thing. It's like a marriage with me and William, kind of
Okay.
like, you know, because we started this thing together. You know?
Right.
You know, and it's just a matter of getting along now. If you don't get along, you have different views. It's like a marriage, you know, you have to separate and do your own thing. You know?
Now, how did you feel, or did you ever feel that you were in your brother's shadow?
I always felt as though I was in my brother's shadow because he's my big brother. I always looked at him as my big brother, you know what I mean? I never, that, you know, that never stops today. But, you know, I was willing to do anything I had to do to make, you know, the situation that I was in, that Allah blessed us to be in,
Right.
to, you know, be successful. So whatever my job was, you know, I was willing to do, you know.
Okay.
And whatever anybody else's job was, I was willing to help them do it.
Right.
Because it all turned back to, you know, the success of everybody. So it was, I'm kind of off track.
Yeah, okay. But so now you have your own music that you're working on.
Right.
Your own songs. Now, the music that you make now, the songs that you write now, are there like any of the old Delfonics? Does it have the Delphonic-y tunes? You know.
I think, you know, I got to stick with that, you know, on the production side, because what happened was in the beginning, you know, Tommy Bell took us into the studio. None of us knew anything about music. You know,
Really?
I'm talking about myself, right?
Okay.
You know, we knew nothing, you know, formally about music, you know, but we just knew the street thing, you know what I mean? We had a way of doing our own thing. But Tommy really kind of conformed us and taught us how to produce this thing, you know, and how to produce the music. So, you know, he was a great help, you know, as far as us understanding music. And so by him doing that, you know, I was in the studio with Tommy, like when everybody else left, it was me and Tommy in the studio.
Okay.
So what I did, I just learned exactly how to produce what we were doing at that time, looking at what they were doing, using the Philadelphia Orchestra, the best musicians, the best studios. So I was kind of like, you know, I'm going to keep this thing on, I'm going to learn this thing. So after our sessions, after our vocals, everybody else will leave.
Okay.
I'm right there with Tommy. So this is something that I really enjoy. You have to really enjoy doing that type of thing to hang around, you know. So
Exactly.
you know, it was great because I really love it, you know. And so this is what kept us, you know, kept us when Tommy left, kind of like in the same vein because we used the same formula.
Right.
And today, I'm using the same formula as far as my music is concerned, you know.
Right.
Melodies, you know, sing-alongs and stuff. You know, and we're producing music. You know, I think it's kind of on the same track.
Because, I mean, it worked. You know, your music, it worked, you know, and everybody loves that. So, and I've heard some of the new things and really, it's really good tunes.
Thank you.
Well, now what, you write lyrics and music, or do you just do the
I write
blues?
lyrics and music, yes.
Okay. And what inspires you to write?
Life itself, you know.
Okay.
Life itself, you know. I heard, like someone said something to me, and then I can pick something up and say, well, I can write a song about that, you know, if it's meaningful, you know. Like,
Right.
Like I wrote a song called Keeper, you know. And somebody said, you know, hey man, you're supposed to be your brother's keeper, you know.
Wow.
And you know, we're talking about that, so I said, let me write a song about, you know, about being somebody's keeper, you know, because we know God is our keeper, right?
Right.
But you know, just to have someone as an individual, you know, you say, well, let me be your keeper, you know what I mean? I want to take care of you, you know what I mean? So I wrote a song off of that. So I just picked a life situation, and I can just give it inspiration.
And you know, it's so funny to me because a lot of the answers that you're giving me, your brother said a lot of the same things. So, you know, you guys, you seem to be on the same wavelength, you know, mentally you are brothers, you know, you came from the same womb, you know.
Yeah.
So it's you know, even when I hear some of your music, I'm thinking, I didn't know that you guys sounded so much alike.
Right.
You know, but and I was asking about falsetto. Now, I've always thought that when a man sang in a high voice, it was falsetto. But you were saying, and he said also that your brother doesn't sing falsetto.
No, he doesn't. He has a natural first tenor. He doesn't sing through his nose. He sings from the bottom, and is able to hit them notes that are very easy to hit if you do sing through your nose. Falsetto, you know. And he just had that natural voice. And really, I haven't heard too many people with this voice.
Exactly.
I really haven't. You know, so we were very unique when it came down to having that in our structure. You know.
Right. And I don't know if people really realize the influence that you guys had on Michael Jackson, Jackson 5.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, like one of your most famous songs, well, their famous songs, Can You Remember?
Can You Remember?
Okay, you guys wrote that.
Yes.
And
William wrote that. William and Tommy wrote that.
okay.
We performed it, in
Right.
the studio. But that was a big record for. In fact, it was a big record for them. They loved
Right.
our music.
Right.
We met them in Chicago, and we were.
And also, I just found
friends.
out a few weeks ago that Michael Jackson actually performed "Loud That Means I Love You."
Yes.
And he did it really good. I didn't know that was on one of his
Yes.
albums.
He loved it. He loved the Delfonics.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he did say that you guys were one of his favorite, or his
Right.
favorite group at the
Right.
time.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
That was big.
Yeah.
That was big. He's always been a nice kid, we remember him when he was like 10 years old.
Okay.
And in the dressing room, and it was. If you had the foresight that you would say, well, I didn't know they were going to be as giant as they were.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Did you think he would ever be as big as he was?
I didn't have that foresight.
Okay.
I couldn't see that far. I know they were talented,
Right.
but back then, to me, I looked at Sly and the Family Stone, and they influenced so many people
Right.
as far as the way that they looked, and what they did on stage. So when people, I remember the Jacksons at one time, they used to step like the stair steps,
Okay.
5 stair steps.
Right.
No instruments, kind of like, it was more of like a group thing. But then they started breaking into a everybody play an instrument thing,
Okay.
So back then I said, well, I was always, reflective of Sly. I said, well, they're trying to be like Sly, kind of like in my mind.
Okay.
But they took it to another level. I
Right.
must say that. Jackson took it to another level, and very successful,
As you were. How does it make you feel? How does it feel to be you? Now, I was telling your brother, like back in the day, everybody wanted to be associated with you guys, and here you are, you're an icon. How does that feel?
Well, I'm blessed. I know I'm blessed. So many people on the planet Earth. Everybody has a lot of talent. God chooses like this. So I really feel blessed.
Right.
And I want to stay humble, and I know I'm not important for real.
Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I know I'm not. I'm not loved no more than him than he loves anybody else.
Right.
It's just my
Right.
achievements or whatever. He blessed me to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
And
And you guys were a blessing to the world. Honestly, all your songs, we can relate to that. And honestly, when you guys hear the new music, is very relatable. And another thing about both of you guys are so dedicated to your fans. Like on Facebook, you befriend anybody, that's your fans, and you're not standoffish. You're with us. You're humble. You know that we love you and you love us right back. And I think that makes you guys look really good.
Well, we love our fans, but this is something that we both can agree on.
Right.
And we both, agree that we recognize and love our fans for what they. We were very fortunate to have like 14 records that went on the radio.
Exactly.
And you give any given month, we got a hit record on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So we were very fortunate. A lot of groups at that time had a lot of talent, and God seemed to put us like on top as far as
Definitely.
visibility. And so this is something that we have to be thankful for and realize that this is something that he put together. And when you have success, I believe when you have success, you have to look back and say, well, how did I get this success? How was I successful? And so you have to go back and get that formula. I don't care who is involved.
Okay.
There's a written history, that no man, you can't build this thing by yourself.
Right.
And so now when things are set up and you go into the studio, you got the arranger, you got the songwriter, you got the background singers, you got the producers, you got the engineers, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now, when you get a situation where everything is clicking, that's just a beautiful experience, This is what we had, And so as soon as we go back to success, as far as our method of how we did it,
Right.
it's easy, really, But it's kind of hard to get there. And I'm leaving the door open because I know as long as there's time, you can't put a limitation on anything. The power of God,
Right.
He has the power to do anything.
Right.